Warm greetings from TNV Academy. Today in this session, we are going to discuss about the differences between ISO 22000 2005 version and the latest version of the standard 2018. So let's begin our discussion. A structure of a standard, perhaps the biggest difference between the old and the new standard is the structure. ISO 22000 2005 had 5 main sections, 4 to 8, and ISO 22000 2018 now has 7, 4 to 10. This is because the new edition uses the Annex SL template. According to ISO, all future management system standards MSS will use this standard. According to ISO, all future management system standard MSS will use this new layout and share the same basic requirements. As a result, all new MSS will have the same basic look and feel. A common structure is possible because basic concepts such as management, customers, requirements, policy, procedure, planning, performance, objective, control, monitoring, measurement, auditing, decision-making, corrective action, and non-conformity are common to all management system standards. While this makes it easier for organizations to implement multiple standards because they all share the same basic requirements, it may cause some disruption in the short run as organizations get used to the new structure. The second one is context of the organization. Unlike the old ISO standard, the new one expects you to understand your organization's context before you establish its FSMS. When ISO 22000 2018 asks you to understand your organization context, it wants you to consider the external and internal issues that are relevant to its purpose and strategic direction and to think about the influence these issues could have on its FSMS and result it intends to achieve. This means that you need to understand your organization's external environments, its culture, its values, its performance, and its interested parties before you develop its FSMS. Why? Because your FSMS will need to be able to manage all of these influences. And once you understand all of this, you are expected to use this insight to help you define the scope of your FSMS and the changes it must deal with. While this will help ensure that organizations develop unique food safety management system that address their own unique needs and requirements. Doing all of this could be quite a challenge for some organizations. The third one is documented information. The new ISO 22000 2018 standard has also eliminated the long-standing distinction between documents and records. Now they are both referred to as documented information. Why ISO chose to abandon two common sense concepts and replace them with one that is needlessly awkward and erratic is not entirely clear. According to ISO definition, the term documented information refers to information that must be controlled and maintained and the medium on which it is contained. So, whenever ISO 22000 uses the term documented information, it implicitly expects you to control and maintain that information. While ISO 22000 2018 expects you to maintain documented information, it no longer explicitly expects you to write procedures or prepare a food safety manual. While you may continue to use procedures and manuals if you wish, they are no longer required. The fourth one is risk-based thinking. According to ISO, risk-based thinking has always been implicit in management system standards. According to this perspective, ISO 22000 has always been about anticipating and preventing mistakes, which is what risk-based thinking is all about. That's why we train people, why we plan our work, why we assign roles and responsibilities, why we validate and verify results, why we audit and review activities, why we monitor, measure and control process. We do these things because we want to prevent mistakes. We do them because we are trying to manage risk. So, If we think of risk-based thinking in this way, it's reasonable to say that risk-based thinking has always been an inherent part of ISO 22000. Before it was implicit, now it's explicit. So what kind of thinking is risk-based thinking and how is it applied? What does the new standard expects organizations to do? The new standard expects organizations to identify and address the risk that could influence their ability to provide safe products and services and to satisfy customers. It also expects them to identify and address the opportunities that could enhance their ability to provide safe products and services and to satisfy customers. The new ISO 22000 standard also expects organizations to identify the risks and opportunities that could influence the performance of their food safety management system or disrupt their operation, and then it expects them to define actions, address these risks and opportunities. It then further expects them to figure out how they are going to make these actions part of their FSMS processes and how they are going to implement, control, evaluate, and review the effectiveness of these actions and these processes. While risk-based thinking is now an essential part of the new standard, it does not actually expect you to implement a formal risk management program, nor does it expect you to document your risk-based approach. The fifth one is emergencies and incidents. While the old ISO 22000 standard had only a single sentence on emergency preparedness and response 5.7, the new standard has added a new section on the headline of emergencies and incidents 8.4.2. The new section 8.4.2 expects you to consider its emergency response requirements to prepare for and respond to food safety incidents and emergencies, and to mitigate their impact. It also expects you to periodically test your emergency response procedures and to review the associated documents and records. The sixth one is new definitions. While the old ISO 22000 standard had only 17 definitions, the new one now has 45. While most of the new definitions are related to management system in general, some of them related to food safety management system in particular. New management system definitions were added for the following terms: competence, continual improvement, documented information, effectiveness, interested party, stakeholders, management system, measurement, nonconformity, objective, outsource, organization, performance, policy, process, product, requirements, risk, top management, and traceability. And new food safety definitions were added for the following terms: acceptable level, action criteria, animal food, contamination, feed, food, and lot. Most of the new management system definitions were added because ISO decided to use a new format Annex SL for all management system standards. So we have now come to the conclusion of this session. In case you have any questions, then please put them in the comment section of the video and we will be really happy answering them. Till we meet next, best wishes from TNV Academy. Thank you.